Imagine if there was a way for you to get a green card without a job offer. In this video, we'll talk about an option that is available for certain kind of immigrants who are either in the United States or outside of the United States to get a green card based on their past accomplishments and future projects, get a green card under the EB2 National Interest Waiver without an employer. So let's dive right in. So many of you are asking me if there's a way to get a green card without getting married or having an employer who is going to offer you a job. Because as we know, one of the most common ways to get a green card is either by marrying a US citizen or having another family member sponsor you, or if you're here as a student and you're finding a job, through a job offer through an employer. But what if you don't have an employer? Is there a way to get a green card as a self-petition without an employer? Well, actually there is. It's called National Interest Waiver, and this is also under the EB2 category for somebody that has an advanced degree. So we'll talk about this in a second. I'm going to break down the requirements for the NIW. How do you know if you qualify? What do you need to do to start applying for this green card option? And what are some of the case examples that we've done recently to show you what's possible in this space? Thanks for joining my channel. This is all about immigration education. My name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and I help clients in all 50 states. So let's talk about one of the most exciting topics in immigration, National Interest Waiver. So what does it mean to request a National Interest Waiver? So what are some of the requirements for the National Interest Waiver? First of all, you have to show that you're a person that has an advanced degree, like a master's or a PhD. The second thing you have to show is that you're a person of an exceptional ability, and we'll talk about that in a second. But in addition to the degree and the exceptional ability, there are three criteria that every person that applies for a National Interest Waiver must meet. And those criteria are based on case law that we use to be able to qualify our candidates. The criteria are as following. Number one, the proposed endeavor has substantial merit and national importance. Number two, the applicant is well positioned to advance the proposed endeavor. Number three, it would be beneficial to the United States to waive the labor certification and the requirement for a job offer, which means you don't need an employer. If we can show that a candidate can fit into those three criteria, the success of the case will obviously increase much more. What if the applicant does not possess an advanced degree? Well, there are cases where if you have at least a bachelor degree, then we need to show at least 5 years of progressive experience and exceptional ability, and then there are maybe situations where a person can still qualify. If a person does not possess any sort of education, but has a very exceptional, some sort of exceptional ability, or something that can be demonstrated to meet the other prongs, in certain cases we can still do that, and we've done that before. But ideally, we would like to see people that have some sort of education to be able to qualify them under different categories. Why should you consider applying for a National Interest Waiver? What's so good about it? Well, first of all, you don't have to apply with an employer. That's clear. I mentioned it before. You don't need a labor certification. You don't have to go through the lengthy process of applying for labor certification. The other point is that you're still applying under the EB2 category, which right now is current for most countries except from China and India, which means your green card application is going to move much faster. And also, under the Danasar case, which is a new case that changed the requirements for the National Interest Waiver, you can apply for this in many, many categories, in business, in arts, in sports. It's not limited to science like it used to be many, many years ago. And we've done quite a few of these cases for people in many different disciplines, in business, in entrepreneurship. And I'm going to give you an example in a minute of cases that qualified for the National Interest Waiver. Let's take a look at a few examples of people that received National Interest Waiver. So we had an applicant who had a law degree from a European country. So again, that's an advanced degree. And she came here to do some amazing project in social work, building a nonprofit. We were able to show the impact of her in a national level. We were able to show her experience as somebody that had exceptional ability. She had articles about her. Her work was featured in publications, and we're able to show that she's well positioned to progress this endeavor because she had the experience, because she had the business plan or whatever we're able to show, in this case, that she met all these requirements, and of course she was able to get it. Again, this is a person that first was a student here, an F1, then she got an H-1B visa, and then her employer wasn't able to sponsor her, and she was able to get the green card without an employer, on her own, using her background, her ideas, and worked well. Another example is somebody who's a little bit more, and in this previous example, this is somebody who's fairly young, that does not have that much experience, but she was able to show through her education and through her abilities that she's well positioned to create that project. We had another example of somebody who is more experienced, somebody that has more than 10 years experience. He doesn't have an advanced degree, but he was a CEO of a few companies in his home country. He was featured in media. He built a lot of things in the past, and he was going to come to the United States to start a new project. So we were able to show his entrepreneurial background, his experience from the past, his exceptional ability, and even though he didn't have an advanced degree, his future project made him well positioned to make it work. And that was another example of somebody that was still back home in his home country, but he was going to apply for a green card without a job offer because he wanted to provide a better future for his children who were under 21. So again, once again, because of his background, because of his abilities, and because of his future projects in the United States, he was able to get a green card while still overseas, so his kids will be able to come here and study as well. So it's an amazing opportunity, and it's an amazing program for specific individuals who are either coming here to build something amazing or already done it in the past and are able to use their experience to qualify for the self-petition. So how difficult is it to get it? Well, it really depends on how you put the application together. How much can you show to the U.S. Immigration that you meet these requirements? What is nice about the National Interest Waiver is that the government is flexible with the kind of evidence they're getting, so we can send them a business plan, we can send them articles, we can send them summaries with graphs and pictures, and when we put our cases together, they look beautifully like works of art. And the idea is to show the government that here's the person that we're introducing to you, here's how he qualifies in all these prongs, and here's how he's going to impact the United States and make some amazing things for this country. And that's why I love this category for a green card, and we hope that more entrepreneurs are going to be using it to come here and build their future here. So once again, if you see this video and you want to try to apply for your National Interest Waiver, put a comment here, and there's a way to contact me as well, and I'm excited to be of service to you as well. So once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video. So if you like this video, watch these two videos for more information just like that.